Hello. Hello, 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 hello. John Beattie here, International Director of the British People's League. British Canada at gmail.com. British Canada at gmail.com. Welcome aboard. We've got you viewing. Who knows? Down the road, you may become a good friend. Hey, we welcome enemies viewing too. You might learn something. You might learn what we're all about. Why we're excited to talk about our British roots and our British history. Dinosaur News, March 24, 2014, brought to you by the British People's League. Hope you had a good weekend. Lots of email activity at this end. One thing for sure, an add-on to the success of the March 15th White Day called by Kyle Hunt. The additional success all over with white groups. And we talk to the choir. I'm proud of that. We fine-tune our choir. We don't want anyone to leave our choir. No one's dropped off our subscriber list. It's slowly building. Your choir is what attracts other people. If they hear good music from your choir, they will want in on it, whatever is producing that good music. We leave the daily news, the murders, the shootouts, the grime, the slime. That's to the controlled news media out there. We talk to our people who are keen on their British heritage, British roots, and secondary in our talks are those of white concern who have chosen different routes to go to maintain our peoples, maintain the 14 words. And as far as the age of this speaker goes, been at it for decades, you could say, what have we produced? Well, we have produced the fact that we're still here. I remember a fellow with social credit decades ago saying to me, John, as long as you hang on, eventually you're going to win your friends, or you're going to win, you're going to get places for our white peoples because you stayed the course. You've made friends over the years and lots of enemies too. Newton's law, for every action there is an opposite and equal reaction. So what have we got today for a spark? Not much. We just do the best we can each day. You explore the various white sites. That's what I was trying to get at the start. That the follow-up to the March 15th successful day is the dialogue it has created amongst white groups. A massive dialogue, white sites around the globe, which is fantastic. That's where your action comes in and reactions. Dialogue, debate. Nothing wrong with good, wholesome debate whatsoever. We can only improve. And there'll be some viewers who know exactly what I mean by the debate. I often wonder, as winter comes to an end, if the small towns in Ontario, Canada, some of the other provinces as well, the annual, not just annual, during the winter season, the hockey games amongst the locals with the off-duty police departments. Usually they arrange something with the business owners or young people, and they have a great jolly time at the hockey arenas. I often wonder after, when they're having their pop and coffee or whatever, if they discuss the multicultural invasion. Or is all the talk about the hockey game? Is there no concern when the policemen are off duty? Or are they just concerned about their $100,000 salary? And when they play the hockey game with the locals, they're just chatting them up and that's it. Wouldn't it be nice if you policemen, and after all you are servants of the state, servants of we the people, your off-duty remarks. Now, yes, you're not allowed to involve yourself in full open politics, but you can have an opinion. Wouldn't it be nice if some of these casual get-togethers in the small towns that you actually discuss the multicultural invasion? You all know your buddies in the large cities such as Toronto, Montreal, or Brighton in the motherland, Leeds, Detroit. We all know, okay, what's going on in our circles. I am trying to embarrass you, off-duty officers, as white human beings who hear the horror stories of your fellow coppers in the big cities. Don't you feel you have a duty to inform the little guys as to the real bloodshed going on out there? I would suggest that you do have a duty. When I filed my nomination papers to run as Deputy Reeve in Minden Hills here, and they ask, well, what's your platform, Beattie? My platform is to be concerned about the multicultural invasion, and why is it that at the municipal level, the town level, these matters aren't discussed. It's almost, oh, well, we leave it up to the Federal Immigration Department. Well, I don't think that's the way it should be. I think that matters should be discussed on a city local level. Now, I can't get into the rhetoric of a campaign. Besides, I won't have money for lawn signs. I'll just be attending the all candidates meetings or whatever. But I'm not officially filed as a candidate. Although you may look up Minden Hills Deputy Reeve speculating about running. It's on the YouTube. Just type in Minden Hills Deputy Reeve. Scroll way down, and there's yours truly with the Andy cap, Union Jack cap. That's why we're doing these daily videos. The truth is, we want to be the #1 brand to stop immigration in Canada as a strong, powerful lobby force. And as I said a few moments ago, there's so many debates within our circles as the best approach. And then, as I said in Friday's show, you get into who's your hero? Who's your hero? Croatians are white, Serbians are white, Hungarians are white, Polish are white. They all have different heroes. Do you think they're going to give up the heroes so they can all dance around the maypole? Hey, look at us all together here, united, whoopity-doo. It was a friggin' miracle on March 15th. An explosion, a legal explosion of the feelings of white people around the globe come up with that diversity equal white genocide togetherness. If that could keep up, that would be terrific. But, and there's 20 buts. And there's those, shut up, Beattie, just shut up about it. But, the differences are going to come out. That's why we call it the British People's League. We don't want to be different. This boy has tried all the various approaches. The all-encompassing approach doesn't work. Okay? So some say, well, you know, where have you gotten, Beattie, in all these years for white people? I tried the different approaches. That's where I've been. And finally, we're at one that's going to work. It nearly worked successfully in 1978 on to about mid-1980s. New viewers, scroll way, way down to the bottom of the BritishPeoplesLeague.com homepage, and you get 2 chapters of the book that will be telling the whole story about how close we came. And if we came close once, we can come close twice. This boy's got 20 years of good health left at least. If Alistair Cook could broadcast for the BBC till he was 95, well, I've got a long way to go till then. Those who sneer and say, you're an old guy over the hill, well, excuse me. 20 years from now, most of you will be in the corporate world. Some relative will have married a non-white, and you'll have all joined the circus. And the very few, and that's who we really take heart to, stick it out. such as the American white broadcaster Don Advo or the American broadcaster Don Black. They've stuck it out. People at Candor League are favorites in the motherland. They've stuck it out for decades. CANDOUR, candor.org.uk. For fresh material on the scene, of course, there's the League of the South. I guess they've been at it for maybe a little over a decade, or I don't think 2 decades yet. And again, they're the ones to look to for how to do a proper demonstration. We've got no spark here. We do have people waiting in the wings. That's the problem. They're waiting in the wings till we can provide some cloak of protection when they come out in demonstrations. I don't mean physical protection. I'm talking here about their jobs. That's why we have to appear at eateries out of the blue, where the opposition can't take pictures, etc. Or quick flash picketing in the villages. In, be seen by some of the local gossipers in the small villages, and out. We're jealous of the young lads that wear suspenders in that they have guts galore and they stick up for their beliefs openly. But as said Friday, it's not going to win over the masses in Canada or in Britain. So on the one hand, I just wish we had them with Union Jack patches and nothing else. But that will never happen. Well, you never know. Maybe Friday's video, the 21st, will have won a couple over to at least explore our viewpoint. Because that's what we're lacking. We're lacking motivated young people willing to stick their necks out. We get lots of emails. But I'm going to have to knock on their doors. The Queen had to leave the palace. The Pope had to leave the Vatican. My old Dutch landlord Vanderwent used to shove that at me. The phone's not going to ring and people aren't going to come at your door. You've got to go to them to stir up the interest. Down the road, the British People's League, we're going to stick to those of British stock and British roots. And that doesn't mean we're divorcing our European cousins whatsoever. It's just after 20 years or more at trying the various approaches, we've got to ride on a little bit of success. And these dinosaur news videos have been successful and they've stirred up an interest. There's certainly more interest and subscribers and emails than any time in the history of the British People's League. Apart from what happened in Canada's Secret Civil War, the 2 chapters of the book, scroll down, as said, at the very bottom of the British People's League homepage. There's an ad to the right here bugging me. Okay, we got rid of the ad, like wiping off the flies. So let the debates continue. There's nothing wrong with good debates to see which approach is going to work. But I assure you, our approach is going to work. There's nowhere else paralleled in the white resistance came anywhere close to what happened in Canada 1978 on to about mid-1985. It can happen again. It better happen again. So if the off-duty policemen don't talk it up with the little townspeople, it's game over. The small villages are the last bastion, the last spot where white people are living. Half of them are pretty liberal, but the other half, it's white flight. They know the score. It's your responsibility out there. The fringe establishment types. I can't stir up everyone with these broadcasts of my own. Yes, even in the Legion halls where you're not allowed to talk politics. So when you're outside having your cigarette, then you're out of the beer hall, then talk politics. You know, the slogan Legion, you know, lest we forget, lest we forget. Well, it's absolutely true, lest we forget. So the onus is on the members of the legions to do something to stop the multicultural invasion, because do you really think the other tribes of the globe, when they smother us, are going to remember any white veterans? Or are you just hiding in the Legion halls for the cheaper price of beer and the cheaper lunch? Oh, heavens no, you're there lest we forget. So there's a responsibility I lay upon you as well. If you've got a relative in the Legion that isn't chatting up against the multicultural invasion, tune him into this video. Perhaps we can prick his conscience a wee bit. Well, I'm sort of dragging this one out. Somehow we've got to continue bringing in the sheaves, those people who already know the score. We've got to win them over to our approach. And what happened, as reported in the ongoing book writing, hopefully will give you some thoughts to becoming a friend of the British People's League. Once you're a good friend, then we put you on our blind list. And those blind lists are terrific because nobody knows who else is on the list. It's like a cell structure. Legal cell structure. Legal underground. Because as well as the open aspect is the plan for picketing the small villages, also attending the eateries wide open in the malls. As well as that aspect, there has to be a legal underground developing to prepare for the worst. Churchill called it the British resistance when plans were set afoot in case Britain was actually physically invaded. So we have to have plans in place. Legal plans, of course. Heaven forbid. Well, I've enjoyed the ongoing debate behind the scenes, and I have no idea why some people don't want even any debate going on. Childish. We're all going to win if we can improve, 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 improve. So line up the horses for the race. We'll see who's doing the best job. Oh, heavens, John, you're not talking white unity then. Well, do we unite with theories and aspects that are going to ridicule us in the eyes of the British Canadian public? Or do we ride a horse that's going to be a winner? Well, we, the British People's League, know we're going to be a winner. And what took place, those 2 chapters of the book at the bottom of the BritishPeoplesLeague.com homepages, it's going to happen again. Probably the last kick of the can. So we'll be at you again tomorrow, Tuesday, March 25th. Thanks for tuning in. Do us a favor and spread the links of these broadcasts. Goodbye till tomorrow.